ado, I'm just going to let you take the stage.
All right, thank you.
And you do so well.
And what? I'm sorry?
As you do so
Oh,
well.
thank you. And it feels like, I know we've only known each other for a short period of time, but it feels like we're already, like, instantly I met you, soul sister, like we've known each other forever. I can't even remember what date it was that we met, but it feels like it was, and not in a bad way, like, oh, it's been years, but like it feels like it's just natural. So you know when you meet people, and I'm sorry we don't have a sound system in here, so make sure in the back, if you can't hear me very well, just say, hey, speak up a little bit. But I lost my train of thought.
Not in a bad way, it's a good way.
Yes. Soul sisters. Oh, when you meet someone for the first time and you go, oh, we're friends. Yeah. I already know you're going to be my friend, so just get ready. You have those friendships. So that's what it felt like with you as well. So thank you so much. I want to tell you a little story that a few years ago, I was going home. It was about 4:30 here in Dallas on I-35. So that means it was rush hour. I was leaving from an event like this. So I was really high on all that, the collaboration and all the connections and all. And I had bought a little yellow sports car on purpose. So those of you, is anybody not from Texas?
Oh, not from Texas.
Okay,
Man.
okay. Well, those are, for you, if you don't know Texas, lots of people love those big trucks, right? And so I got this yellow car, and let me start my timer real quick so I don't lose time. I bought this yellow car so that people wouldn't miss me. Not for like, hey, let me show you, look at me. It was more when people are driving next to me, they will see me, okay? And here I am driving down 35 from downtown, and all of a sudden I hear boom. I feel this boom. And what had happened was an 18-wheeler was right above me, just a little bit behind me. She couldn't see me. And she bumped me from the back. And so all I heard was like a bump, and I didn't understand what the heck was going on. But then all of a sudden, I'm turning 360 this way, so now I'm 90 degrees to the street, or to the road. I look up, and there's an 18-wheeler coming right at me, sideways. It boom, hit me again, but it wasn't like crash, crash, crash. It was like bumper cars, okay? So it was like boom, swirl, swirl, like slow motion, boom, again. But I'm here, and all of a sudden all the glass flies in. Then I swing around this way again, and now I'm on the other side of the 18-wheeler. It's now dragging me backwards, ripping up my car. I'm looking at the oncoming traffic, or the traffic that I'm going with, but backwards. And all of a sudden I break away. I do 2 more 360s across 3 lanes. And I end up in that side there, like, what is it called? The shoulder? I almost said a bridge. The shoulder. And it was so quiet. Nothing had happened to me except a little scratch from the glass. And it was one of the most surreal out-of-body experiences that I had. And it was when I had the boom, boom happening, I was like, okay, I survived that. Okay, I survived that. I'm okay. But then all of a sudden I noticed that I was going into the next lanes where all this traffic was coming in, and I was like, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm so glad my girls are not here with me. And it was just so silent, though I could hear myself very strangely screaming. Like it was one of those, one of those that's so, out of body. And then I then sat there, and I thought, wow, I made it. And it really felt like God, the angels, like lifted me up, plopped me there, and said, you've got so much more to do, and you're not doing it. This is your wake-up call. You have got to keep moving, stepping into your gifts. You've been spending too much time playing small. You have a message to share of inspiration, and you need to get off your butt and go do it. Now, it wasn't instantly, I was like, woohoo, I'm here, right? There was a process of overcoming limiting beliefs, learning how to interact with an audience, with on camera, on stage, with other people, okay? And the thing is that I know I have a huge message, and I know you, let's see, make sure that this is going to work. Well, now it's not working. Yes, oh yes, everything was, ta-da. I don't know why it's doing that. Do you know how to do this?
Is that yours or someone
This is mine. Here we go. I'll just do it this way. Okay. Yeah. There we go. All right. All right. So, like me, I know that you have, for a fact, you have an inspiring message, an impactful message that only you can share in your own way, right? And today I am going to teach you some things about speaking, and I'm going to learn about where you are in your process and your stage of speaking if you want to become a speaker or even just a better communicator. All of the things that we're going to work on today is about communication, okay? But I want you to be aware of, you're not going to try to be like me. You're not going to try to be like Karen. You're not going to be like anybody else. I want to help you find places and ways to access who you are to then fully step forward whenever you are on stage or on camera or in front of potential clients. And my goal is to help you become that legendary speaker, whatever legendary means to you. We can sometimes look at legendary and think, oh, huge. You may not have that vision in your mind. You may think, oh, I'm going to be on those huge stages someday. You might also want to say, I want to be legendary in my community, whatever that means for you. It doesn't have to be huge and very visible. Okay, and so there are two things that we're going to cover today. One is mindset and one is skill set. And I could teach a whole week on all of this. This is what I do with my clients. So it is going to be small little tidbits for you to take, but you're going to walk away with tangible things that you can then start integrating into all that you do. Okay? One is the mindset. So we're going to do some self-reflection on how to step into your best self and how to switch it on when it's important, when it's the right time to do so. I know I'm really surprised at how many really popular, very huge speakers out there are actually introverts. I would say the majority are introverts. They know when they step out on stage, it's time to turn on their best self. They're not acting like someone else, they are themselves, but they're able to access that, bring it forward, and then turn back into their introverted self and get energized on their own. So one is the mindset. The next one is we're going to talk about two different steps from my Unleash formula or framework to help you become more captivating and effective as a speaker or a communicator, okay? And my sweet spot is stage presence. So we're going to really talk about stage presence, okay? So when you do have these, you can become more self-aware rather than self-conscious. How many times have we gone to turn on that record button and go like, I don't know if I want to do that, or when I do, all I'm doing is thinking about, I hate the way I sound, the way I look, what if it doesn't come across? That's self-conscious. Or I'm out up on stage and I'm shaking and oh my gosh, this didn't work and all that. That's self-conscious. Self-aware is when you can really step into the right mindset and then access the skills that make you more effective as a speaker. So we're going to touch on those things, okay? So my question to you is, where are you? And this is, like I came to each table, it's interactive, I want to hear from you. It's not me just standing up here talking to you. Where are you in your speaker journey? If you want to be a speaker. So tell me, and you don't all have to, I'm not going to go around the room, but just tell me some ideas, some elements of where you are, maybe what your goals are, maybe what's holding you back. Okay, because I do have a structure that I'm going to teach today, but I'm going to guide it towards what you need right now. Okay, so you had your hand up. Yes.
Yes. So most recently, I discovered that I'm actually doing a good job with my speaking.
Wonderful.
So I thought that I wasn't doing as great of a job because I was looking to get bigger contracts as a speaker.
Yes.
Instead of speaking to sale, but after speaking with the coach, I actually had the aha moment that that's actually a good thing. And so I'm at the point of just like embracing where I am on the journey.
Perfect.
And knowing that when those contracts come, they'll come.
Mm-hmm.
But if I continue to do what I'm doing now, I'll actually make more money.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. And I love that you said you're right here at your point in your journey. I want all of us to remember you are where you are. Don't compare, you've probably heard this, don't compare somebody's 20th chapter to your second chapter, okay? You are where you are. Get curious as to what you need to learn. What do you need to get better at? And simply take one step forward and learn that. Get good at it, then take the next step. If it's the same as when we're trying to lose weight. if you hate on your body, it's not, excuse me as I blow snot, it's not going to go away as well as if you love your body, right? So same thing about this journey where you are on your speaking. Love where you are right now and move forward, okay? Anybody else? Yes.
For me, it would probably be finding the right audiences.
Finding the right audience, okay.
I have an interesting story. I'm autistic. I was nonverbal until age 6.
Wow.
Doctors told me I never do anything a monkey could do. And so
Doctor said what?
I never do anything you could even train a monkey to do.
Oh my gosh.
So-
Talk about speaking over you.
So, trying to find the correct audiences, because I feel like a lot of things I attend, it's like either like a lot of speaking events I see are like religious or they're based around women and it's like, well, my audience is neurodivergent moms, dads,
Then that's your audience. That's your
Like,
audience.
it's almost impossible, I feel like, to find things like that in Texas.
Then I would invite you right. Then I would invite you to, because this is something that I got very tired of, is waiting for other people to create a stage for me. Create your own stage. Amen. Seriously, because you can get so frustrated waiting for people to see your brilliance. You can't hear me? Okay. You can get so tired. I got so tired of waiting for people to notice my brilliance. It's like, well, why not just create my own? Why don't I go and make more interactions and say, how can we collaborate? How can we create an event together? So do that. If it's not happening here, you got a great opportunity. Great opportunity. Yes.
So this is a question and some advice from those of you in the room who have done many presentations before, but also interviews. I'm part of a nonprofit,
Mm-hmm.
and so I have found lately, because I think I'm a good presenter, but when I do interviews where it's scripted and they're telling me what I need to say, I
Yes.
don't do as well.
Yes.
So for those of you who've been in that situation, is it reasonable to tell the interviewer or the TV station, sorry, but this is the way I want this to go?
Yes.
Rather
Yeah.
than them decide for me, because it's not as natural.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, okay, question number 1, question number 2, it's not as natural for me at all, and I don't do as well.
Well, I would do the opposite. And the thing is, you don't always have control. Say you're going into the media, you have an on-camera interview. You have the ability to control it somewhat, but then even if you do submit your own questions and say, this is the direction I'd like to go, whoever's right there is going to go in the direction that they go. So it's important, one, for you to try to get control of it and say, these are some questions that I'd love to answer. And then also practice different things that might come up around the topic that you're going to be speaking about and figure out learn how to create short sound bites to answer them. And so this is really interesting. We may go without slides today. Here we go. That's really weird. Okay. So that's definitely something you can do. Okay, so you're in a place where you feel like you're a good speaker, but would love to know more about how to take control of when you are in interviews? Okay.
Especially with interviews, not
Okay.
presentations, but interviews.
Perfect. Okay.
Television stations are telling you, this is what we want you to talk about, this is what we want you, these are the questions.
Right.
And
Awesome. Well, you take control then. All right. Yes.
Okay, it's a couple of different things. I get really irritated with myself on delivery. So one of my biggest issues is slowing down and catching up with my thoughts. So I
Yes.
say, so
Mhm.
all the time. It
Mhm.
drives me crazy that I do it. So delivery is probably the biggest
Okay.
issue, but also determining the niche that I want to be in. What exactly do I want to brand myself as talking about as a speaker?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And we have a panel later that talks about you, in a sense, creating your own brand and how to really set yourself up as a legendary. What is the title of is the legendary, like
Become a legendary.
Legends and Legacies?
our panel, the one that I'm on next?
Oh,
It's it's in a sense it's personal branding and the presence. So definitely come to that.
How to stand out in the industry as a legend.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So, so,
repeat the questions for the
Yes, yes. Perfect. Thank you, Karen. So why don't you state your question again? Or state where you are.
No, she's gonna.
I'm going to repeat it for the camera.
So, how to improve my delivery where I'm
Yes.
not saying,
Yes,
like,
okay.
so.
And we're going to work on that
And
today.
then how to improve how to choose my niche and brand myself as a speaker. How to choose that.
Okay. So one is the delivery. Your question was, how do I deliver more effectively, more powerfully? And then the other is, how do you niche yourself down in terms of who it is you're speaking for and what is that message? And I will say that's we're not going to get into that today very much, but that is one of the most difficult things to access. And I mean, it's the same as in business. Who is it that I'm actually serving? Not everybody, it's this one or these few people. And what is the message? What is the service that I provide? Same thing in speaking. What is my message? But I'm going to give you some steps that will get you on that direction. Okay? Krista.
I was just going to say is not every speaking engagement is equal.
True.
I know when we're starting out, we want to do everything because we want to be in front of people. And it's good to have consistency and it's good to be visible.
Mm-hmm.
But not every opportunity is the opportunity that aligns with where you're going with your brand.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure that you are taking into account the environment in which you will be speaking and make sure that it's clearly aligned.
Right.
Because people do notice those things, right? When you
Yep.
do your media kits and you're like, okay, well, how did this one happen? You know what I mean? How did this happen? The other thing is that's when the ums and the oohs and the e and the on, whatever. It's because sometimes you're having a hard time connecting or aligning the subject matter with your mission and values.
Right.
So that's really important in bringing the best out of you as a speaker and making sure that they're right aligned.
Right. So true. Thank you. Where are you in your speaking?
Well, I love public speaking. I've never met an audience I didn't love.
Yay!
I particularly love virtual training. I'm an
Okay.
HR trained by trade, but my next accomplishment is to do a TED Talk. And I've put it off probably for the past 3 years because I think it's a mindset thing, so that's why I'm here. I love public speaking.
I love
but
it.
like you, I feel like there's an additional place where I need to be, and I haven't been willing to go there.
Okay. Well, the things I'm going to teach you today will help you with that.
Awesome.
Okay, awesome. So let me give you a little bit of background about myself. I was terrified to speak as a kid. At around 4 years old, I was deathly shy. If we went out with my parents, I would always hide behind them. My teachers would always say, well, she's doing so well in school. We just wish she would really speak up. But I was so scared to just open my mouth. But I so wanted to be able to connect with people and to communicate. But I was just terrified to open up my mouth. And there was one beautiful Saturday morning that I turned on those Saturday morning cartoons, and I all of a sudden saw Fantasia. Y'all familiar with Fantasia from Disney? And there was this beautiful scene that came up of a dancer, and I was mesmerized. She was connecting with the audience, with me. She was exuberant and just such a beautiful being in that moment. And do y'all know who that is? Any idea of remembering who danced in Fantasia? Okay, well, and I'll show you here in a second. Well, I saw her and I said, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to become a professional dancer so that I can connect with people and I won't ever have to open up my mouth. It was a brilliant idea. And I thought, oh, everything is going to be set. And that first inspiration is Hyacinth the hippopotamus. So I adore her. She's my first inspiration of really me stepping into who I needed to be and who I wanted to become. And so I did become a dancer. This is my first recital. And I got to work. I'll show you the video in a second. I got to work. I trained my body. I did major amounts of learning and schooling and all, and then a lot of auditions. And I was able to travel the world with my dancing and my teaching and choreography. And with that, I really learned and then did an in-depth analysis and research into performance praxis, which is where you are connecting your physical, the practical side, with your theoretical. So the training of the body, along with the philosophy, the history, the psychology, all of those different elements, the anthropology, all merge together. Because when you merge those together, when you're moving in dance, and then you understand why and how it connects with the human existence and experience, you're able to really connect so much more effectively in the moment with your audience and really take them on a journey. And so what I have done is transferred that knowledge and that expertise that I was, for myself, training my own self, but also training other professional performers. I've taken that experience and brought it into the business world to help those who are speakers, who, whether it's on camera or on stage, to really help them understand how to bring that energy and take people on for a journey. The thing is, I'm going to tell you a little secret, is that I am still, or my biggest fear still, is that when I come up and speak, I will still have nothing to say. That I'll come forward and say, I don't have anything to say. Or if I say something, and tell me if you can relate to this. You say something and people go, oh, okay, whatever. And so when you have that moment, you go, okay, well then what do I do? Right? And so I will be honest with you, even though I'm a professional speaker, I teach on it, I train my clients on it, I still have fears. And you know, I just recently saw, I don't know if you know these people, Jesse Itzler, he's the husband of Sarah Blakely, who created Spanx. He's one of the most amazing speakers. Trent Shelton, Jamie Kern-Lima, I just heard them speak. Every single one of them, one, are introverts. Two, I know for a fact that they're nervous every time that they go out on stage. So just know that that's part of it, okay? Being nervous. And so the thing is that I know that if I have been able to take myself onto a journey of being more confident and effective on camera, going from this, to your point, it's my job to teach other people how to do so as well, even when we're squeaking in our shoes, right? And so that was definitely a different beast. So I really respect you saying, oh, it's time for me to step into this, because it is a different level. Because you have to really pull it down to one idea, and then you realize this is literally, it's not just going to this room, it's going to the world. And so I understand that, but you can do it. You can do it, definitely. So tell me, in terms of stage presence, do you feel like you're born with it, or can you learn it? And can you hear me in the back?
I think it's both.
Okay, it's both, but can you hear me?
Yeah, it's
Okay, it's both. Okay, agreed. So let me show you something. This guy is, okay. When you watch this, I want you to watch how much space he takes up, how relaxed he is, and how much he's in the moment. And I wish we could hear it better, but. Okay, so what do you see in him? Real quick. Living his best life. What else? Freedom, confidence. What else? Joy, yes. Anything else? Energy, yes. And it's because the dancing is, in a sense, his message as a speaker, okay? His message, his dancing is so grounded in his body and in his soul, he doesn't have to think about it anymore. And he can just relax into that and then start expressing even more from that. So, one, when you get the right mindset and you understand the right skills to have as a speaker that then become natural, then you can start being like him. Maybe not like dancing that way, but but you can get into that energetic state, yes? Okay? So another one I want to show you is we have huge Taylor Swift fever right now. I want to show you in terms of how it's learnable. So I would say with him, he's kind of born with it, right? Okay? The next one is Taylor Swift. I want to show you how it's learnable, okay? That you can go from one to something like 180, okay? So this is when she was at an event. Is it CMA's Country Music Awards? Okay, this was her first performance of this. So watch her mannerisms, watch how much space she takes up, and watch her eye contact as to who she's really speaking to, who she's singing to. Okay, is it small or is it a large group? So watch. So this is her first big performance. Okay, so you got that idea. And then, watch this. All right, I'm not going to show the whole thing. What's the difference? She is out there. She's taking so much space, right? She's confident. What else? Her eyes are open, so she's looking at the whole audience. Whereas the first time, she was here, and we didn't get to the part where she went straight to literally Tim McGraw. She was only talking to him. And so, because the song, mentions him. So, it's an awareness. It's learning those skills that you then can change out depending on whether you're in a stage like this or in a huge arena like she was in. Okay, so we're going to learn how to flip the switch when it's time. Okay, so when your body and your mind shifts, you're able to shift the room, and when you're able to shift the room, you can shift the world. Okay, with your message. Yes, so I want you to be aware of that you are both the thermometer and the thermostat when it comes to your speaking. You come into a room, you get into a virtual room, and you see people, or you come into a place like this or even a bigger space, you take the temperature. You saw me, I'm going to each of the tables. I'm learning, I'm taking in the energy, and then you're the thermostat. You get to change the energy of the room with your own energy. But sometimes you have to flip it on as your best self to get there, okay? So what does it mean to be legendary? For me, I have 4 words: iconic, heroic, enduring, and extraordinary. So I invite you to close your eyes for a moment, sit up nice and tall, get your feet flat. I'm going to read the descriptions for each of these, and I want you to visualize yourself in really embracing yourself as a legendary speaker, whatever that looks like for you. You can be legendary in your family, all right? So close your eyes. You're iconic, or you can say, I am iconic. I'm widely recognized and admired, often symbolizing excellence and timeless appeal. Breathe into that. This is your mindset. You're heroic. You can say to yourself, I possess qualities of bravery, courage, strength, and I'm often celebrated in stories. Breathe. You can tell yourself, I am enduring. I have a lasting impact and a remaining influence over a long period of time. So really feel yourself stepping into this. I am extraordinary, you tell yourself. You're exceptional and remarkable. You say, I am standing out from the ordinary due to the unique qualities of my achievements. Inhale and exhale. Gently open your eyes. Did you feel like you shifted? Did your energy shift? Did your body shift? Your mindset shift? Yes? No? Yes? Okay. I want you to get out something to write with. I'm going to give you some exercises. Time is going by so quickly. I'm going to shut the door. That's all I can open it. All right. So we're going to do what's called the adoration process. And for time's sake, I'm going to give you the example or the exercise, and I want you to do it at home. Okay? So what you're going to do is get a blank piece of paper. At the top, you're going to put 3 different names of people that you admire. Okay? And what you're going to do is underneath each one, you're going to write up to 20 descriptive words about them. You can start with 5. I'm seeing faces of, okay? 5, and then 10, and then 20. Really challenge yourself, all right? So 3 names at the top, 3 columns of those descriptive words. From there, you're going to, and I'm going to, in a sense, tell you the joke and give you the punchline before you know the joke. So I want you to pretend you're not hearing what I'm telling you, but I need you to do this when you do the exercise because we don't have time to do this today. What you're going to do is you're going to cross out those names. You're going to put your name at the top. Because the thing is that you can only see those qualities in them because they're in you. And you only put those words there as a priority because those are very important to you. You and I could have the same person and have probably some similarities in the words, but a lot of them will be different because you see something in them that I don't see in them, but it's because that's what's in for you and that's what I see for me. All right? So look at those words and then start really integrating them into who you are as the bad butt person that you are. Okay? And embrace them. And if you know that there are elements in these descriptive words that you don't really exhibit or you don't really show too much in life, start working on them because they're inside of you and they're going to make you so much more engaging and so much more interactive and connecting of others. Okay? So that's a little example or exercise that I want you to do on your own today. Another one that I'm going to tell you is your story bank. It's so important. I started with a story today. Did that story connect with you? Did it make you feel like, ooh, I'm right there in the moment? It brought you in. So I want you to also, in terms of your mindset, start getting used to the stories in your life that you could start speaking and integrating into your own speaking. And the thing is, a lot of us don't, sometimes people think, well, I don't have a near-death story. I don't have something that I got abused and I got out of this and then I'm now here. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Those are your stories. So I invite you either in your phone, in your computer, I want you to start creating some folders of different, it's called a story bank. And you're going to start putting little prompts of stories throughout your life. And you can put categories. You can say, family life, my personal life, business life, health, whatever you want to do. And anytime an idea comes up of a story from your past, throw it in there. And I'd keep it on your phone because those are then things that and don't write out the whole story, they're just prompts, okay? And then you expand them. And then those are elements that you then can bring into your speaking, to your point of who do I speak to, what's my message? Your message might shift a little bit because of who you were asked to be in front of. And then you look at your story bank and you say, oh, I know these are a bunch of working moms. Ooh, where are some elements of where I had to overcome something as a working mom? Let me tell that story, okay? So these are elements that I want you to step into. So there's the adoration process. You're going to step into those. You're really going to start owning them and developing them. And then I want you to own your stories as well, okay? So next, I'm going to go a little bit into my Unleash formula or framework. These are the 7 different places that I take my clients through. We're only going to work on 2 today, really quickly. The first one is unearthing your message. This is about really developing your story, understanding where in the story you can bring. Sure, that'd be great. Thank you. Or yes, take pictures of here if you need to. Where we're really finding where can we hone those stories that are going to be emotionally connecting. Next, we talk about navigating body language. We're going to do a little bit of that today. Leveraging your vocal variety. We're going to do some of that today. Engage your audience. Learning how do you pull your audience in different ways. You're going to amplify your style and your personal branding. So part of it is how you dress, but also it's all the personal branding that's included. Strengthening through practice. The only way you're going to get better is practice, practice, and more practice, okay? And something you can do is, I always have my clients and myself actually record anything I do, what you do, and then rewatch it without the lens of, oh my gosh, I look terrible. It's more of a, let me get curious. Where am I saying all the ums? Where is my laughter being a little weird? Where am I too soft? Where am I too loud? And all of that. And then you start thinking, okay, there's the there's the there's the And then you start practicing to take a pause whenever those ums come. You go, I want to say but I'm going to say the next thing now. Okay, so it's just practice. And then the next one is handling your nerves, learning how to do that. But today we're going to look at 2 different ones, the navigating your body language and leveraging vocal variety. And I want to invite you to really think about utilizing, I'm going to say, all your octaves. Vin Yang is a great speaking coach online. He's amazing. And he talks about using all your octaves, that your body and yourself is like an instrument. It's a piano. You have 8 octaves. And we get used to speaking in 1. and it's all right here, blah, 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 right? That becomes our personality. That's how people understand who we are and what our brand is and everything. The thing is that you have the capacity to experience and express in all of these octaves. So even though in this instance, speaking like this is not very effective, but it's still me. But if I were to practice that and use it in other areas, somebody might go, well, that's not you. Yes, it is. I'm going to practice it, and it's going to be used in other sides. Okay, so when we try some things today, I want you to think about, these might not feel very comfortable, but I'm going to try and work with them. Okay? So, navigating body language. The elements for this, and when I get to the end, I'll tell you if you want to take a picture of it, okay? So, in body language, this is your facial expressions, your gestures, your touch, your clothing, your body movement and posture, your eye contact, and your space, the space you take up, okay? So if you want to take a picture of that. Today we're going to look at body movement and posture, okay? I had you kind of do your potty posture before. All right, take a picture real quick if you want to. All right, good? All right. Yes, okay. All right, so first though, before we do this one, I want you to turn to the person beside you and I want you to give them a handshake. Because yesterday, this is body language. This goes along with when you meet the event coordinator, your potential new client, shake their hand. This is major body language that I noticed last night. I was like, woo! I got to work on some handshaking. Okay. You don't have to name names because you shook multiple people's hands. Was there a difference from this, like kind of light, to, yeah? What did this one tell you? Timid, shy, right? And there's also cultural and also time frame when, earlier in time, there was this shake. That was how women shook hands. Now it's different, so you need to go there, okay? And when somebody shook your hand like this, like really like full palm, solid, what did that feel like? What did you interpret? Confidence. What else? Powerful. What else?
This makes you feel secure.
Yes, you feel like you can trust them, and you're secure. You're safe with them. That they have they know what they're talking about, right? So similar to that, very simply, walking into a room, walking onto stage, anytime, that first step, you're already communicating something. It's not, now I'm going to speak, my body is just here to walk my head forward into this space, and now I'm going to start talking, right? The communication, your interpretation of me, this is the weak handshake. Hi. If I were to step up like that, what would you think of me? Next. Okay, so I want you to be aware of the first step you take, and even actually out here, you think, what kind of energy am I sending into the room? What do I want these people to experience of me? How do I want to change the thermostat in the room? Not this. I'm gonna walk out. And you have to determine, is it slow? Is it fast? How much space do I need to take up just to get here, and then plant yourself in the middle? So I want you to, real quick, stand up. Okay. Now, I know we don't have much space in here to walk because there's all different things. But I want you to stand up, get a posture, not stiff. Get your hands out of your pocket. And we're going to stand. Actually, I just see if you can take 2 steps back from where you are or wherever you are. Take an inhale. Exhale. Stand nice and tall. Like there's a string from the top of your head, arms down by your sides. We're not going to walk around like this, right? Shoulders open. 1 foot in front a little bit. You're going to put your weight on the back of the back foot. Y'all look sexy. You went from here to, not nice. So anytime you can shift your weight and twist a little bit, it creates visual interest, and then you also feel more solid. So where you are, I want you to now take 2 steps, step, and then step. I'm in place. I know it's a little, so you can practice. You're going to practice out there, okay? I'm going to see you strutting, okay? So It's a step, and then, okay? Let's try it again, just on your own. Boom, don't look down. And bam, okay? So when we walk out of here today, I want to see you walking out. Oh, did somebody trip? Oh, so when you all walk out of this room and walk into the next room, I want to see you taking that step, come with that energy, okay? Because that one little thing will change everything for you. Sit down real quick. Thank you. Woohoo! Good job. Okay, I want you to speak and observe. So I want you to write down, how do you walk on stage? How do you shake a hand? I know these are basic, but these little things, if you let them translate into everything else you're doing, change your life, okay? The next one that we're going to do is, and write this one down too, and I want you to do this at home, and you're going to record yourself doing it, okay? So can I have a volunteer to come up here real quick? It's not scary. Come here. Okay. Turn around. Let's look. Okay, I want you to watch her in terms of her body language. Okay. Do you know anything about ants?
Yes.
Okay, shoot. What do you not know anything about?
What kind of insect ants?
No, anything. What do you not know about something?
Oh,
Do you know about
grammar.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about that topic. What do you tell them?
I am an engineer. I am illiterate.
No. Okay.
And I'm not very good with English letters. I'm dyslexic, so it's very hard for me. But I have accepted that, and I work on it, and I'm not ashamed of it. It's something that I struggle with.
But tell us about the acceptance. Tell us about what you don't know about.
I don't know the difference between an adverb and an adjunction. I don't know, like if I were to go back to my senior high school class.
Okay, stop. Okay, watch what happened. Okay, now tell us something that you're so lit up about. You know everything about it. You could talk about it in your sleep. Are you a mom?
I am.
Tell us about your kids. Like a really cool, you're like, oh, not today.
She's engaged.
Oh, okay. So tell us about how was the engagement, was the proposal cool?
It was really
Okay,
cool.
so tell us about the proposal.
So unfortunately I had my foot broken, but he took me to a very fancy restaurant in my big boot and everything, and I didn't want to dress up, but he made me dress up. So we went to downtown Dallas 5-star restaurant, went to an orchestra, which was really cool. It was actually the 20s theme, so it's not your typical.
Okay, jump to the part where he asked you.
Okay, so he then had a horse carriage, took me downtown. It was like a big, I don't know the name of the park, but then it was, beautiful fountains and people everywhere, and then out of nowhere, he just spun around and got down on one knee.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Yay! All right, so what was the difference you saw in her from the first one to the second one?
The energy was
Energy is totally different. What else? More animated, more detailed, more hand movement. She paused and stopped and started. Like there was more like pausing, let me think about it,
Yeah.
instead of just like, so this is just how it's going to be, and I don't like grammar, I don't really know. So that shows you the difference of when you are, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. When you are confident in what you're speaking about and you're lit up about what you're speaking about, all right? The thing is that sometimes we have to speak about things that we don't really know much about, but when we learn these skills of posture, breathing, how to walk with the right energy, how to stand with the right energy, how to pause, how to use your hands, all of that, you can still come across as very confident in that. Because there are going to be times when we don't know what we're talking about or that we're not too secure about, but when you know the skills, okay? So that was one thing. I want you to now write in your notes, video yourself speaking about something that you really don't know much about. And then do it again and talk about something like your grandkids or something that you love teaching your clients about. And see the difference. Watch the difference. All right? Another one is leveraging your vocal variety. So we talked about how to enter, how to shake hands, how to interact, how to connect. And then also, then just a little bit about your body language of a practical thing that you're going to integrate by simply observing. I didn't teach you anything specifically about how to use your hands and all of that. I don't want to get into that. It's more about the awareness of what happens when you're really concentrated and don't know, to where start practicing where you see, okay, this is what I naturally do when I'm confident. How can I keep doing more of that when I'm not so confident, or just in general? How can I exaggerate those even more? Okay. The next one is vocal variety. So I'm going to I'll tell you when you can take a picture. Power. This is your volume, your pitch, the height, the pace, and the pause. Anybody know why we pause when we speak? What the purpose is of pausing? Emphasis. What else? To breathe. Yes. Organize your thoughts. Yes. So as you as a speaker, you're breathing and you're organizing your thoughts. Exactly. It gives them time to process. It's so easy for us to go, let me tell you the story, and then it went to this, and then it went to that, and then I had a heart attack, and then I went to that, and it's like, I had a heart attack. I almost died. Do you feel the difference? Okay. So with our practice, you got a picture of that? Okay. So what I want you to do is just turn to somebody next to you, and I want you to speak in monotone. Just go. Take 20 seconds. Just look at each other and speak at each other in monotone. Okay, stop. Now play with the pitch. So hi, I'm going to go down here, and all I'm going to do is just practice what I'm saying. Try that. And you can just talk to each other. Okay, stop. I know you get excited. So what was it like in monotone? Boring, yes. I don't want to listen. You as a speaker don't want to do it. You're not excited about it, and the person who's listening is like, oh, whatever, right? And then what happened when you just started, even though it made no sense to like go high and then go low and all of that, but at least you saw what your octaves can do. What was that like? Fun. More interesting and all, okay? So for this exercise, I want you to go home and practice, video yourself. So today, this is what I did, and this is why I'm doing it. And just watch what happens to your body and just everything about yourself. And then start speaking, and you can even just practice. You can read something and say, little Johnny went to school, and then today he went to bed. Like, just play with that, because then you start practicing that, and you then just start naturally activating those things in your own speaking, okay? Next one, pacing game. Do the same thing, just speak at each other. I know you're not. And allow yourself to pause and see what happens. Go. You're like, you can't. You just and even if you don't know what to talk about, just say, I don't know what to talk about. Okay, stop. What was that like?
It left you waiting for more.
It made you wait for more. Good. What else? All right. Yes, it does. It does. Awesome. So those are things that I want you to practice. Oh, I have 5. Okay. So again, write it down. I want you to video yourself at home doing exactly that. You can even just get something to read and read it and play with the speed of it and then the pausing as well. And they don't have to make sense. You're just practicing the action of that will then translate into how you then speak. Because then you will become more aware of, ooh, I know what it's like to pause right here. Because either I really said something heavy or because I'm playful. Or I want to go really fast. Because I now know, it's like you're working out your body, you're working out your mouth and your brain to be able to do all these different things when called upon to make your speaking even more engaging. All right? So, practice that. All right, for me, personal presence is like a perfume. It lingers and makes an impact long after you leave the room. So I want you to think about that. Anytime you step into a room, onto a stage, in front of the camera, what is the essence of you that you're leaving behind? What is the experience that people are going to have when they speak with you or hear you speaking? And then when you're gone, what is the legend? Ooh, this gives me chills. What is the legend you're leaving behind? Simply because you've learned how to play with what's happening in your body. How are you speaking? Is it loud or soft? Is it fast or slow? Do they have pauses? What's the pitch? And all you have to do is just keep doing those exercises, practicing, and then just start integrating them every single time you get on stage or when you do a live or when you're on doing a Zoom call. Practice those things and you will see a huge difference in yourself. So thank you. Oh. And if you'd like, you can scan this on the left. That's my 7 strategies to enhance your speaking skills overnight. And then on the right is my Instagram, if you'd like to connect there. That's my Instagram.
So Elizabeth has given us some amazing things for the VIP.
Yes.
So make sure that you check out the VIP. It's only $50. You get copies of everything. So the 2 sessions that you've missed by being in this amazing session, you'll still get those. So we're just trying to maximize the information that you have because we can't be 3 places at one time, even though as moms and business owners and all the things that we do.
We like to pretend.
We do, right? But I just want to thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Yes.
Did y'all get a lot out of this panel?
Can I, do we have like 1 minute?
Yes.
Okay.
Does anybody have questions?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Does anybody have questions? And I'd also love to, you can either ask questions or takeaways.
I don't have a question. I just really love the way you did the walk with us.
Uh-huh.
Because ever since my kids were little, I always told them when we go anywhere to the mall, when you're in the store, wherever you're at, I always told them you walk like you own the place.
Yes.
Not arrogant,
No.
but walk like you own the place.
Right.
Feel the confidence. And to this day, they're very confident in their
I
in their
love
walk,
that.
in
I
a
love
positive
that.
manner.
I love that. Thank you for saying that. And and something that I've really come to realize, and it's been a huge shift for me, where I finally feel worthy. That because my soul, our souls, for me personally, is of God, and He's worthy, right? And so we can walk in worthiness. So I'm in love with my soul. This out here is an expression of my soul. So walk like you love your soul, your own individual soul, and express from that. So that was a little bit of a testimony,
I
but
want to catch something that you said right there.
Yeah.
And then Brenda, we'll get to your question.
Yeah.
But this was something that was such a revelation for me. As I told you about my trigger, right? I want to be around women that trigger me. But as I've talked to these women, I see they have the same challenges that I do.
oh heck yes.
Elizabeth was someone I'm like, obviously, she has it all together and she's perfect and she probably
Yeah, as
you
I'm
know,
like, oh, I just blew snot everywhere.
so like she probably toots fairy dust, right?
Yes, my family can attest to
Right.
that.
So we elevate people to such an unhuman
Yes, we do.
plateau because we assume certain things about them. And getting in the room and in the conversations with all of these women has been so affirming for me that these are just women who show up and just do the hard work. But she's still doing the work and she's still human and she's still very relatable and very approachable, which means that you can. And you
Yes.
can, and you can, and you can, and we can all do this.
And not negate ourselves when we see somebody who's
Right.
doing amazing things to go, oh, well, that's not available to me.
Right.
How many times do we do that? I know I do.
Yeah.
So
it's just
thank you
like,
for saying that.
no, I just learned to not compare my day 1 to your day 500.
And
Like,
that's not
We're
easy.
just at different journeys.
But
different
yes,
steps on
yeah,
the journey,
exactly.
so.
Exactly. Thank you for
So yes,
sharing
Brenda.
that.
Mine's more of a comment and not
Yes.
a question. So a long time ago, someone gave me a statistic that said this percentage of people in the world are afraid to speak in public. I don't know if it's the same anymore, but it was like 90.
Yeah, it's 90 something. It's 90 something, yeah.
So I'm not really
They'd rather die than
Yeah.
speak.
And I'm not religious or anything like that. So what I'm going to say is that as I grew up and I realized that perhaps I had the gift naturally, then I was told this is what you need to develop and work on because it is a God-given gift.
It is,
And
yes.
so I recognize that. But I also recognize that if you want to do it, if you don't think it's a God-given but you want to, develop it. Once again, you should, because you're still being thankful in a sort of way that you have the ability to pursue getting better at it. And so for those of us who are willing to work at it, it's not just because, we want to do it well, but because it truly is a gift and we need to develop it.
Exactly, totally. We all have a gift or gifts that sometimes we're afraid of sharing. And sometimes because they're easy, we're like, well, that's not very valuable to others. No, that's exactly where you're supposed to be, because it's easy for you, because you're supposed to put it out there, whatever that is, right?
That was such a wind for me.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't valuable. This is so easy. Everybody does this.
No.
They
What
don't.
if it's
Whatever your
easy?
gift is.
Yeah, whatever. If it's easy and it lights you up and it makes you giddy.
Yes, she's right.
So, wow! All right. Can I hear 3 takeaways that you're gonna? Yes. Or may I hear 3 takeaways or more? Yes.
For me, a lot of times people go, you take up so much space.
Oh, you're like, yes, thank you.
Now
I
I'm
do.
like, oh, it's okay, I take up space.
Yes.
I like the space. And
Yes.
I get that
Because you taking up space doesn't take away space from anybody else. Who said that? Who said that? Yes. Because if just like last night, she spoke about you become a what was it, like a permission slip, something like that, where if you step into your taking up big space, it allows other people to go, oh yeah, I can too. Why am I shrinking? Great point. Okay. Real quick, anybody else? Takeaway. Yes.
I like the exercise for the traits that you admire in people.
Yes.
But it's also about the traits that you seek in yourself for them that
Mm-hmm.
aren't necessarily there, but you see them and you want them, and finding ways to make those attainable.
Right, exactly. Not just like you said, oh, well, they're great at that. I'm going to negate myself. It's not available to me. No, this is a permission to say, oh, that's already in me, so let me go develop it. Awesome. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And I would love to see you all when you get up. I want to see you walking. You're going to send, wherever you go next, you're going to send your energy in there first, and you're going to strut. I'm going to look at you and go, walk. Thank you.